Hello ladies, Christine here. Today's lesson is all about identifying your core values. How would you define your values? Before you answer this question, let's talk about in general what values are. So your values are the things that you believe are important in the way you live and work, and they should determine your priorities, and deep down they're probably the measures you use to tell if your life is turning out the way you want it to. And when the things that you do and the way you behave match your values, life is usually good. You're satisfied and content. But when these don't align with your personal values, that's when things feel wrong. This can be a real source of unhappiness, and this is why making a conscious effort to identify your values is so important. So, how can identifying your values help you? Values exist whether you recognise them or not, and life can be much easier when you acknowledge your values and when you make plans and decisions that honour them. For example, if you really value health and vitality but you're not looking after yourself, it's going to create an internal stress or conflict because you'll be grinding against your core values. So it's really important to take the time and understand the real priorities in your life, and you'll be able to determine the best direction for you and your life goals. Values are usually pretty stable, yet they don't have strict limits or boundaries. As you move through life, your values may change. For example, you may now value health and vitality, but that may not have been as important to you when you were younger. So as things change in your life, your values will also change. By identifying and understanding your values, it can be challenging, but it's an important exercise because your personal values are an essential part of who you are and what you want to be. And by becoming more aware of these important factors in your life, you can use them as a guide to make the best choice in any situation. And some of life's decisions are really about determining what you value most. When many options seem reasonable, it's helpful and comforting to rely on your values and use them as a strong guiding force to point you in the right direction. So you want to feel abundant. You want to feel happy and confident in yourself. And you strive to be feeling really good about yourself. And it's your dream to be so proud of yourself and respect yourself. So tell me, ladies, what would knowing and defining your core values mean to your health journey? Just take a moment and write it down. When I did the exercise and got in touch with my core values, I realised that my core values really aligned with who I am and what my business is all about. My top 5 core values are health, balance, vitality, education, and adventure. And the decisions that I make in my personal life as well as my business life always resonate with these top 5 values. So I'm going to take you through an exercise, and this is written in the notes below, or you can just follow through with the video and answer the questions. So, defining your values. When you define your personal values, you discover what's truly important to you. And a good way of starting to do this is to look back on your life and identify when you felt really good and really confident that you were making good choices. So step 1 is identify the times when you were happiest and utilize examples from both your career and personal life, as this will ensure some balance in your answers. What were you doing? And were you with other people, and who? And what other factors contributed to your happiness? Just take a moment to pause the video and write it down. If you missed it, it's written in the notes below. Step 2 is identify the times when you were most proud. Why were you proud? Did other people share your pride, and who? And what other factors contributed to your feelings of pride? Take a moment to write down your answer. Now, step 3 is identify the times when you're most fulfilled and satisfied. What need or desire was fulfilled? And how and why did the experience give your life meaning? And what other factors contributed to your feelings of fulfillment? Take a moment to pause the video to write down your answers. Now, step 4 is determine your top values based on your experiences of happiness, pride, and fulfillment. Why is each experience truly important and memorable? Use the list of values that I've attached below to help determine what 10 top values align with you most. So go through the values list and select the top 10 values that really resonate with you, that perhaps came up in steps 1 to 3 when you're answering those questions. Step 5, prioritize your top values. So this step is probably the most difficult because you'll have to look deep inside yourself. And it's also the most important step because when making a decision, you'll have to choose between solutions that may satisfy different values. So this is when you must know which value is more important to you. So out of the list of 10 that you've chosen, write down your top 5 values that resonate with you. Step 6 is reaffirm your values. Check your top 5 priority values and make sure they fit with your life and your vision for yourself. Do these values make you feel good about yourself? Are you proud of your top 5 values? Would you be comfortable and proud to tell your values to people you respect and admire? And do these values represent the things you would support, even if your choice isn't popular and puts you in the minority? I love this quote here by Mark Twain. Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry and narrow-mindedness, and many of our people need it sorely on these accounts. Broad, wholesome, charitable views of men and things cannot be acquired by vegetating in one little corner of the earth all of one's lifetime. When you consider your values in decision making, you can be sure to keep your sense of integrity and what you know is right, and approach decisions with confidence and clarity. You'll also know that what you're doing is best for your current and future happiness and satisfaction. Making value-based choices may not always be easy. However, making a choice that you know is right is a lot less difficult in the long run. So ladies, tell me, if you aligned your top 5 values into your vision, into your life, what would this mean to you? And how would this impact upon your health journey? Take a moment to write it down. So that's all for today's lesson. Were you able to identify your top 5 values? I'd be really interested if you could share it in the Facebook group. So I look forward to talking to you more in tomorrow's lesson.